Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Listen to the Stars. My name is Nicole. I'm an astrologer, tarot card reader, and life coach. And you can learn more about me and check out my services at NicoleBrenny.com. This is my channel dedicated to all of those things because I love astrology, I love tarot, I love the cards of truth, I love spirituality stuff. So if you're interested in any of that kind of information, you can subscribe. I have a lot of different interviews that are really fun. I talk about astrology, I do forecasts. It's a good time, so join me. And if you like this video, make sure that you like it and comment and share. But today we're going to be talking about how to love, and this is going to be through the wisdom of the cards of truth and numerology. But you don't necessarily need to know a ton about the cards of truth. You don't even have to care about the cards of truth. This is a video just about how to love, and I'm just using the cards to kind of show you the progression of love and how love in nature actually flows so that you can maybe apply some of these concepts to your own life to help you. And I'm making this video because this is something that I have done myself, and it's really helped me with my relationships, and I've seen it help other people with their relationships in my coaching sessions and things like that. So I've really seen people grow with this wisdom, and it's really served people well, so I really wanted to share it. So we're going to get into that in just a second, but I haven't really had a chance to welcome all of you new subscribers. So welcome everyone that's really new to my channel. Honestly, I've already had this channel for a year now, but I still feel like I'm figuring it out. I don't know exactly which direction it's going to take or anything like that. I actually have been making so many astrology videos, and when I first started my channel, I thought that it was going to be about astrology, spirituality, like things I was interested in, like natural beauty and things like that, and it ended up just being astrology. So who knows what the future has in store, but I'm really glad that you're all here, and it's so nice to meet all the new people. I love reading your comments and reading your emails and everything, and I try to respond to every single one of them when I get the chance, so thank you. And Happy New Year, and I really want to talk more about 2018, and I am going to make that Saturn video that I promised you. But I hope that you guys are enjoying the new year so far, and I think 2018 is going to be a very special year for me and my channel. And I wanted to show you guys, I got these really cool dowsing rods for Christmas, and I've been wanting these like for years and years, and I really didn't really want them until I saw this astrologer Lynn Coiner with them. I was watching some astrology video, and I learned about this astrologer Lynn Coiner, who is mostly a medical astrologer. So I've been actually reading a lot of her stuff, and her articles that she has online are like really amazing. And it's all Western astrology, so it's something that I'm not as familiar with, but I'm really loving. And I wanted to know as much as I could about her, so I went and I Google searched her name, and I found this video of hers on this like ghost hunting show, and she had these and she was looking for ghosts. And after I saw that video, I was like, okay, I'm going to get some of these. And at the same time, my family was doing their drawing for Christmas, and we all got each other's names, and we had this kind of open text thread going. And so I said to my family, if any of you gets my name, you better get me some dowsing rods because I really want them, and I will be so happy, and this is going to be a gift that I actually use. And I knew they weren't going to take me seriously, and I doubted that anyone would get me these, and this was back in September. And I was so surprised, I literally screamed when I got these. My sister-in-law, Marisa, actually got me these because she's amazing, and she wasn't afraid of ordering something strange off of Etsy, which I think all of my other siblings would have been. But since she's a cool sister-in-law, she got me these. It was probably like, I really loved all the gifts that I got, but these were like the most surprising, and I'm really excited. So let me know if you want me to use these at all on my channel. I know how to use them, but I don't know all the different nuances with them. So if you know about them, or if you're a dowsing expert, I'd be happy to talk to you and maybe even have you on my channel if like you do this professionally. I think it'd be really cool to talk about them. But yeah, this is super cool. This is like a, I don't know, a 20-year wish come true. So that's pretty cool. It was a really great 2017 between the dowsing rods, the snake, my YouTube channel. So I'm very grateful, and I just really wanted to say happy 2018 to every single one of you. So let's get into the video. Again, you do not need to care about the cards. You do not need to care about astrology, but I'm going to be using astrology, the cards, and the numerology of nature to show you what I've learned about how to love. And by the end of this video, you're going to have a lot of tools to help you when you struggle in relationships, which is so important to have because most people deal with relationship struggles at some point in their lives, whether you can barely find someone that will date you or if you've been in a marriage for years and years and years. So these have really helped me. I took this Cards of Truth course with Ernst and I really learned about the heart suit, and it was that whole series of videos that really changed my life and really helped me more than anything else that I've ever learned in cards, astrology, or tarot at all. Like, this is the most important, and at least to me. And I've been meaning to make this video for months and months, but I'm glad I haven't because it started to like simmer and brew within myself, and now it's ready to share. And what we're going to do is we're going to break the whole heart suit into 3 pieces. So as you guys know, there are 4 different suits in like a regular deck of cards. There are 4 different suits. You have spades, you have hearts, you have clubs, and you have diamonds. So spades, I'm just being generic here, but spades are more like psychological and they can do with more of your work life, and they can also deal with your body. The hearts are your emotional life and your love life. The clubs are intellectual and your friendships and your creativity, and the diamonds are the physical world, and they can also deal with your body as well. So the hearts is the second suit. So the number 2 has a lot to do with like us coming together with something else. So it has a lot to do with relationships. So you think about the moon as being ruled over by the number 2, or the moon rules the number 2. And the moon is all about relationships because it literally only exists as a light in the sky because it is receiving the light from the sun. So the moon is such a huge symbolic planet of relationships. We actually look at the moon in Vedic astrology to see if 2 people are compatible. So if you get a compatibility reading with me, I'll actually compare your moon to your partner's moon to see how compatible you are, how receptive you are to each other's energies. So the moon and the heart suit and the number 2 all have to do with relationships. So what we're going to do is I'm breaking this up into 3 different pieces. This whole heart suit is going to be the Jack piece of the suit, the Queen piece of the suit, and then the King piece of the suit. And I'm trying to lift this up faster. And the Jack is the creative aspect. The Queen is the nurturing aspect, or the aspect that helps a relationship grow. And the King is the necessary aspect of destruction. And then I have number 10, which is kind of going to be outside of all of this. And this is just the way that I've decided to place the number 10, although other people could do it differently. And I'm basically just going to take you through the story from the Ace to the King and the 10 and show you how I've seen this energy of love evolve. And people could tell a different story, but this is really what I've seen to work. And this will also, through this storytelling, you'll see how to love, how to have a great relationship, and how to kind of heal emotionally from things. So the Jack of Hearts is a card that if it comes up, it can often symbolize long-lasting love. So this actually came up for me when I met my boyfriend, and it came up for him when he met me, and we've been together for a long time. So this is usually going to be long-lasting relationships. And it's interesting because Jacks and the Cards of Truth typically aren't that long-lasting, but for some reason with the hearts they are. And one thing about the Jack of Hearts is it's the beginning creative aspect. It's that spark that gets the whole thing going. And so sometimes when people have relationship difficulties, I think about this Jack of Hearts card, especially when people are dealing with like a relationship that's kind of lost that initial spark. And this card to me represents how if you feel like you've lost that spark, sometimes you can reflect on those earlier days and why you were initially interested in someone, to sort of find within yourself that feeling again and to nurture that feeling and to bring that feeling back to life. So there's always the promise of something long-lasting in the beginning. If you can just find that magic from the beginning, relationships can really last a long time. So the Jack of Hearts is extremely powerful. It can also represent children, because children are something that we love, that we need to have a long-lasting relationship with. We don't just have a child for the most part and then abandon the child and never see it again. So this is a really powerful, powerful card. Now the first card in, the numerical order 1 through 10 is the Ace of Hearts. And this is just the birth of a new love. And it's a singular thing. So the birth of a new love starts with yourself. It starts with your capacity to love. It starts with your ability to love yourself. And it starts with you, just being who you are. We don't really have to spend much time on this, but the Ace of Hearts is just saying that you are what is needed to create love. And your love, your ability to be in a relationship starts with self-love. Then we move over to the meeting point of the Two of Hearts. So this is one person that loves themselves coming together with another person that loves themselves. And this brings in a really important wisdom from the cards of truth, which is we can only truly love ourselves. We can only love that which we are. This is really hard to think about, but if you're really having some relationship struggles, think about what it is about that person that you're upset with, because typically whatever you're not liking about that person is something in them that you exemplify or that you also contain within yourself. I had a really bad breakup a few years back, and one of the things I realized is that all the things I was holding against him that I wasn't liking about him were things that I was doing too. So you can only really love yourself. It's also important to meditate on this card, because whatever kind of energy that you're carrying within yourself, like if you're carrying the energy of unconditional love and peace and happiness, you're going to attract someone that is also going to have those qualities, that's going to be loving and happy and want the same things as you do. So be careful. Like if you're being pessimistic and angry, that's what you're going to attract. So the Two of Hearts teaches us that like attracts like, and you need to be very careful about your energetic signature. That's what I call it. So work on your energetic signature, raise it. And there are a lot of different practices you can do, and I can really help you a lot with that in life coaching too. But all of that helps you to attract the partner that is really meant for you. Now we get to a difficult part in the sequence, which is the Three of Hearts. And the Three of Hearts is a card of separation. So there are two people, but there's also this flying apart. So the Two of Hearts is you flying apart from the relationship. So this is a relationship, and this is you moving away from it. In a really bad relationship, this can be, breaking up, cheating, betrayal. It can be kind of loving two people at once. But in a good relationship, this is just you needing to take time away from the relationship. You're leaving the sanctity of the relationship to go to work, or to work on your creative stuff, or go have fun, or work on yourself. And the 3 is related to Mars, and Mars is all about strength. And the red cards are internal, so this is about inner strength. So absence makes the heart grow fonder, but also absence makes the heart grow stronger. So with the 3 of Hearts, if you can allow yourself to be a part in a relationship, you can have a stronger relationship, and you get rewarded in the next card, which we'll go into. But a lot of people get stuck here. They can't allow themselves to be loving themselves while in a relationship. They want the other person to love and validate them, and they forget about the Ace of Hearts, which is all about self-love. So it's very important that you don't forget about self-love once you do get into a relationship, because this can be a card that really trips you up. Okay, so the next card that we're going to look at is this next basically generator of this whole sequence, which is the Queen. So the Jack rules over the first 3 cards, and the Queen rules over the next 3 cards. And the Queen, again, is that sustaining energy. And people actually have quite a difficult time with this card, because this exemplifies the feminine aspect. This is a part of us that is truly receptive, is truly nurturing, is truly loving, and is truly ready to receive love. It's the Mother card. So a mother can truly give love, and they're always just trying to take care of things in their life that they love, but they only do that in as much as they're like receptive to, their children loving them back and the things in their life loving them back. I've actually struggled a lot with this card, because we live in a very solarized world, and this is a very lunar sort of card. It's really, I feel like, very Cancerian. And so you're always going out in the world trying to make things happen. You don't allow yourself time to just rejuvenate, relax, reflect. So the Queen is going to rule over the 4, 5, and 6 card, and the 6th card is Venus, and Venus is all about rejuvenation and healing. So the Queen of Hearts is very important to tap into your feminine aspect. So if you're having any kind of problem in a relationship, this is in the middle of the whole suit. So this could be one of the main reasons why you're having a struggle, is because you're not allowing your feminine side to be present in the relationship. You're not allowing yourself to receive love, so you can't even actually experience the love that's available to you. So Queen of Hearts is very important to reflect on. It's our ability to be receptive, to tap into our feminine, which is so necessary for a relationship. Because just like I was saying, I feel like this relates to Cancer. Well, Cancer is ruled over by the moon, and the moon is the planet of relationship, and moon is receptive to the sun's light. Whatever the sun wants to give, the moon receives. So this is very important. Okay, so the next card we have is the Four of Hearts. So if you can make it through the trials and tribulations of the Three of Hearts, which is putting energy into love, but also allowing yourself to be separated from the object of your desire enough to allow your heart to grow fonder and stronger, then you achieve the Four of Hearts, which is an amazing card. This is basically a card of being totally emotionally secure within yourself. And this is about emotional stability and just feeling good and not really needing anything on the outside, because you just feel good within yourself. So it's not just self-love, it's just really being secure. And it's also in a relationship, if you let yourself have that time away from your relationship, you trust it. So you have some trust in that relationship and you feel secure in your relationship as well. So this is a very powerful card. Some people really struggle with this card too, because if they don't have this security within themselves, then they can really trip up in this next portion of the cards, which is the Five of Hearts. And the Five of Hearts is emotional disappointment. 5 is a Jupiter number, which is really confusing for people because people mostly think that Jupiter is a card that gives. But Jupiter wants to give you the ultimate best thing you can possibly have. And sometimes in order to give you the best thing in the entire world that's meant for you, Jupiter is going to have to not give you certain things. So in order for you to get the apartment of your dreams, Jupiter is going to have to make sure that you don't live or sign a lease for a really crappy apartment or buy a really junky house. Jupiter is going to want to give you the best thing, so you're going to have to say no to things. So the Five of Hearts is a card of emotional disappointment, and it means that sometimes we aren't going to get what we think we want because there's something better for us. So in this card, relationships can end. This is a lot like the Five of Cups in the tarot deck. Also, and that's like if you aren't really meant to be with that person, or sometimes because you really haven't become emotionally secure within yourself. So usually those are the only two reasons why the Five of Cups comes up, because this person isn't going to give you true emotional fulfillment, which we'll see in a second, or because you have more self-work to do. You need to get more secure within yourself. So the Five of Hearts is emotional disappointment. It can also be, in a healthy relationship, the ability to really accept the goodness in a person, and just there are always going to be bad things about the people that you're with, that you're married to, but just don't focus on them. This is about focusing on the good and just not ignoring the bad, but not focusing on the bad. And this will help you to achieve true fulfillment. So this is a lot like the Five of Cups. And interestingly enough, the Three of Hearts is a lot like the Three of Swords in the tarot deck, at least from my experience, if you want to kind of align them. Now, the next card is the Six of Hearts. So if you can let yourself break up with that person that's never going to fulfill you, or if you can see the goodness in a person, then you're going to get the Six of Hearts, which this is the card that we all strive for. This is what romantic comedies are made of. This is what romantic dreams are made of. This is what ruled my life for many years. All I wanted was this. This is the ultimate love that you can achieve on the earthly plane. This is true emotional fulfillment in a very worldly way, not a spiritual way, but a worldly way. Just being in love, being happy, laughing, having sex, like all the great things about love. This is the card. And if you can get past the Five of Hearts, this is what you get. No one has issues with this card. There's nothing wrong with this card. People pretty much just want to stay at this card forever, but there's so much more. So you don't want to necessarily get stuck in this card. If you truly want to learn how to love, you're going to have to move beyond this, which is really tricky for people to understand. So now we get to the next group, which is lorded over by the King of Hearts. And the King of Hearts is the destroyer. Kings always make a sacrifice, so the King of Hearts is going to know what kind of sacrifices are necessary to make for love. Some relationships must end. Some things we're never going to get. Sometimes we just have to forgive a person. The King of Hearts is also like that tough love sort of figure. So it's the father that's going to be mean to you or cruel to you because he knows that if he truly loves you, he's going to do what's best for you. And sometimes not allowing you to have the thing you want is really the best thing for you. So this is all about things maybe not working out or needing to really dig deep into that, that more cruel side of yourself, or making a sacrifice that is hard to make in order to really go deeper in love. So we start out this sequence with the Seven of Hearts, which is literally the card that represents death of love. So people, when they get this card, they think it's incredibly challenging. They don't want it because with this card, people could actually die. And I don't read for death or anything like that, but just as a meaning of this card. But also relationships can totally end. They're just done. They're over. Done deal. And the Seven is the card where this is the first step where we start to remove our ego from relationships. So the Seven of Hearts is a devastating card. It's one of the hardest cards you can possibly get for emotions if your ego is attached. If your ego isn't attached, there's an understanding that there's something much greater. There's a type of love that is much more divine, that is higher, that is more beautiful. And if you move past the Seven, you have the ability to get there. So people always get stuck in this card. The truth is that if something is meant to die, it's meant to die. Seven is a Saturn card. Saturn really reminds me a lot of Yama. There's a relationship there with Yama. And Yama, with Yama, the deity of death, there's this understanding that things have to die because not everything can stay alive at the same time. That just gets chaotic and crazy. Like if no one died, the world would be overpopulated and insane. So things need to die in order for new things to be born. So when it's really well dignified, things end because they're meant to and because something new is on its way. And when it's difficult, it's just that struggle, like you don't let something end, you don't let something die that needs to die. So sometimes it's good to let things end, and this is what the Seven of Hearts teaches us. And it really teaches us to get our egos out of relationships, remove the ego from relationships, because there's something much greater waiting for you as far as emotional fulfillment. This takes us to the 8, and this is a Rahu card. So Rahu is quite difficult, and this card is kind of difficult to explain, but I've actually seen a lot of symbolism with the 8 of Hearts when I think back to the 4 of Hearts, because the 8 of Hearts is 2 4 of Hearts. So the 4 of Hearts is all about emotional stability within ourselves. So the 8 of Hearts contains that. And the 8 is all about internal and external. So a really good 8 of Hearts is the ability to allow yourself to be emotionally secure within yourself, and knowing that when you do that, everything on the outside also is secure, and it also is nourishing, and it's also good for you. So the more that you're secure within yourself, the more that life validates that, the more that life gives you the good things. The 8 of Hearts, when it's really bad, reminds me a lot of the 8 of Cups in tarot, which is really a card of grief, of baggage, of not letting things go, of just sitting there crying and being sad and not really allowing yourself to move beyond a relationship or a situation that disappointed you. So really the best thing to do is to break it down, just go back within yourself, work on yourself, get stable, and know that no matter what happens on the outside, that if you're okay on the inside, that's all that there is. The outside is just really a mirage that you're trying to work through, and you need to just be okay within yourself. Because Rahu, which rules the number 8, that's the planet of the mirage. So be stable within yourself. That's all you have control over. Finally, we get to my favorite card in the entire deck, the 9 of Hearts, and this is the card of unconditional love. So if you make it through the trial and tribulations of the 3 of Hearts, the 5 of Hearts, the 7 of Hearts, even the 8 of Hearts, this is a hard card, you get to the 9 of Hearts. And it's really interesting because we always say that Ketu is the planet we move away from so that we can move towards Rahu. But in the cards, we have Rahu, number 8, before Ketu, number 9. So we go to Rahu always to go back to our Ketu, and our Ketu is that planet of liberation. So if you're truly wanting to love, you need to move beyond just that fulfillment of having this perfect, happy relationship or whatever, and you need to get to destroying your ego through it, seeing the greater things about it, allowing it to end if it needs to. Like if you truly love someone, let them go. That's really a great saying to accompany the 7 and the 8. Because the 9 of Hearts is about unconditional love. And unconditional love is the ability to love people even though they've disappointed us, even if we're not getting what we think we need from them, even if they're not serving our lives in this perfect way. The 9 of Hearts is the frequency that animals and babies they just live with this frequency. So when we're born, we love everything. Animals, they love everything. There's actually an unconditional love meditation that I teach some life coaching clients depending on what they need, and it takes 3 months to really go deep with it. And a lot of the people, actually every single person I've ever taught it to, and including myself, when you get really deep into it and you're doing it every day, wild animals or animals in general will just come up to you and they'll be really like peaceful with you, and they'll be very friendly with you. I was doing this meditation regularly for a few weeks, like regularly, and I was at the beach with my boyfriend, and this dog just walked up to me and sat right next to me. And I was like, oh, that's nice. So I just like was petting the dog. And 5 minutes later, their owner comes running up and is like, I am so sorry. My dog is totally afraid of people. It hates people. I have no idea why it's being so friendly with you, but I'm so sorry. Let me take him away. I apologize for all of this. And she said she's never, or the person said she's never, or the dog's never done this before. It's really, really weird. And the thing is that when you change your energetic signature to unconditional love, you attract unconditional love, and that is the frequency of animals. So this is the most powerful card in the deck. This is the kind of love that you want to reach. This is transcendence. It's K2. It's beyond worldly love. It's something much greater. It's not just worldly fulfillment. It is spiritual fulfillment. It's the ultimate fulfillment. And if any of you have really meditated in unconditional love or have done really deep meditations, then you might have felt this. And this is really devotional love. It's love from God or from the divine. And if any of you have ever experienced that, which I have briefly at times, when you feel that, you don't need worldly love. You don't need anything else. You don't need sex. You don't need material things. You just need that. Like, it's so self-sustaining. It's so beautiful. It's so profound. There's some people that are always in this, so it's such a beautiful thing. And when you have this, you don't worry about the 3 of hearts. You don't worry about the 5 of hearts. The 7 of hearts is no big deal. You have this. So this is what we should all strive for, which we don't typically, but it's really my favorite card in the deck. People that have this, they're so loving, they're so giving, they're so beautiful with their energy. And this is the gift of going through the ace, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, jack, queen, and king. This is what you get. So devotional, unconditional love, the ability to forgive and forget, the ability to love everyone and everything, even if people hurt you, even if you went through a breakup, even if you know the person that you dated broke up with you to marry your best friend. You're still gonna love them if you have this card strong. And last but not least, the 10 of hearts. So with this, if you can do all of this, you get the 10 of hearts, and this is patient and enduring love. And in the tarot card deck, it's the 10 of cups, which is like this happy family with a big rainbow on top, and they're married, and they're all like, it's basically happily ever after. So this card basically says, if you can really learn how to love, if you can remove your ego, 1, from everything, 0, and really see things objectively and live outside of that, you can be truly happy. You can have everything that you want emotionally. And that's a promise of this whole entire suit. It's a promise of that Jack of Hearts, which says, look, I am the creative aspect of the emotional realm, and I am allowing you to have something that lasts. But you need to learn the whole message, all of the lessons from the ace to the 9, including the queen and the king, in order to have this. And the 10 of hearts is a beautiful card. It's the Wheel of Fortune card, which allows you to get your fortune and abundance in life. And in this suit, it's all about emotional abundance and emotional happiness. And really, it is the card of patient and enduring love. And that's the kind of love that we all want. And if we want that, then that's the kind of love that we have to be able to give. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I was speaking kind of fast because my camera battery is dying. But I really enjoyed talking about this because these lessons from these cards have, like, I use them every single day. When I feel stuck in my relationships, my friendships, the way I interact with my family, I don't need to give myself a card reading. I don't need to go to another astrologer. I don't even have to pick up a deck. I just have to think about, what have I learned about how love actually works in nature? And how love works in nature is how love is represented from the Ace of Hearts to the 10 of Hearts. Or I could say the Jack of Hearts to the 10 of Hearts. So how is love represented? And if I remind myself of how love flows and how love works, and if I focus sometimes on the Queen of Hearts and the 9 of Hearts, as well as the 10 of Hearts, I can solve any of my issues and any of my problems. And maybe it's because I've worked with these cards a lot that I can do that, but I truly believe any of you guys listening, like, you have everything you need right now to figure out love and figure out yourself within that. If you want to go deeper, or if you want me to look at your card spread or draw some cards for you specifically, of course, set up a reading or an appointment. I don't expect all of you to want to figure out and solve your own problems all of the time. Sometimes we need a little bit of help, so don't feel embarrassed or anything if you want to ask for my help. I would love to help you. But I've wanted to make this video for a very long time because I feel like these messages are really profound, and honestly, it's been one of the most important things that I've learned in all of my astrological and card studies for the past several years. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up. If you watched all the way to the end of the video, then please comment a heart emoji. You can pick any one of the heart emojis that you want, but I would like to see who watches to the end, so that'll be really fun. And if you want to set up an appointment, it's at NicoleBrenny.com. If you haven't subscribed, please do, because I'm going to try to make much more videos in 2018. I always post videos on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and the more subscribers that I get, the more views that I get, the more likely that I'll be able to post more and regular videos. So stay tuned for Thursday. I have no idea what's in store. And yeah, if you are a dowsing rod expert, then please email me and I'll invite you on my channel as well. Have a wonderful day or night, and I'll see you on Thursday. Bye.